You've made it back to Ultimate Nerdy, the home of epic crossovers and alternate realities. Get ready, because today's What If story is about to blow your mind. Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, the echoes of ancient conflicts reverberated across the stars. The Sith and the Jedi, locked in their eternal struggle, were unaware of the approaching storm. The Decepticons, led by the treacherous StarScream. This is a tale of alliances formed in the shadows, betrayals that reshaped destinies, and the ultimate conquest of power. StarScream sat on his throne in the Decepticon base, dreams of leadership heavy on his mind. A Decepticon scout approached, his expression grave. "Lord Starscream, I bring dire news. Megatron has been defeated." Starscream's optics widened in disbelief. "What? How?" "During the Battle of Exegol," the scout explained. "Megatron fell to one named Darth Bane. After defeating the Autobots and the Jedi, Megatron faced Bane and proclaimed that the two of them were equals, both possessing unmatched power. But Bane only laughed. He turned to his apprentice and declared, 'There will only ever be but two Sith at one time, a Dark Lord to embody the power, and an apprentice to crave it. No equals and no exceptions.' With that, he used the power they call the Force to rip Megatron apart." Starscream's disbelief quickly turned to rage. The Decepticon leader who had once ruled with an iron fist was gone. Now, the mantle of leadership was his. But more than that, Starscream saw an opportunity. A chance to seize ultimate power. Megatron's death left a vacuum, and with it, Starscream could claim his place as ruler of the Decepticons and beyond. Megatron and Optimus Prime, leaders of the Decepticons and Autobots respectively, had brought their interstellar conflict to the Force wielders' doorstep. The combined forces of the Sith and Decepticons overwhelmed the Autobots and Jedi, leading to the tragic conclusion of Megatron and Optimus Prime both falling in battle, their final blows marking the end of an era. As Starscream processed the news, the scout continued, "Many Autobots and Decepticons were destroyed in the battle. The awakening of Unicron unleashed havoc. He attacked the planet, drawn by the raw power of the Force." Starscream's mind raced. Unicron, the Chaos Bringer, was active once more. And now, with Megatron gone, the path was clear for Starscream to forge his own destiny. He would not only avenge Megatron, but also harness the power of the dark Force wielders to become unstoppable. His optics flickered with determination. This was more than revenge. It was an opportunity to rule the galaxy. Starscream flew to Unicron's resting place, his engines roaring as he approached the colossal entity. The ancient god of chaos had been dormant for millennia, but the Force had reawakened him. Unicron's eyes glowed as he acknowledged the Decepticon leader. "Unicron, mighty bringer of chaos," Starscream began, his voice filled with a mixture of respect and cunning. "Megatron is no more. The Force wielders are responsible for his demise. They are the same ones who imprisoned you. I propose an alliance to hunt them down and destroy them all." Unicron's deep, resonant voice echoed through the vast chamber. "And what do you seek in return, Starscream?" "I seek the power that the dark Force user harnessed from the dark side of the Force," Starscream replied. "With that power, I will lead the Decepticons to victory and ensure our dominance." Unicron remained silent for a moment, his gaze piercing. Long ago, the Sith had sought to use his chaotic energy for their own ends. When they failed to control him, they imprisoned him deep within Tython, fearing his destructive power. Now, freed by the Force's resurgence, Unicron's thirst for revenge had only grown. "Very well, Starscream," Unicron rumbled. "I will grant you a portion of my power. Together, we will crush all who oppose us." Dark energy streamed from Unicron into Starscream, transforming him into Ulktar, the Defiled One. His body twisted and expanded, becoming a terrifying fusion of machine and dark energy, his optics glowing with newfound power. Yet with the power came something else, a faint, insidious whisper in the back of Ulktar's mind, one urging him toward greater destruction. Ulktar returned to the Decepticon base, his resolve steely and his ambition clear. He rallied the remaining Decepticons, his voice booming with authority.
Decepticons, our time has come. These Force wielders have taken much from us, but now we will take everything from them. We will hunt them down, destroy their strongholds, and harness their power for ourselves. Failure is not an option. The Decepticons, inspired by Ulktar's determination, prepared for war. Their first target, Korriban, the heart of Jedi and Sith power. Ulktar led the Decepticon fleet to Korriban, with Unicron looming ominously behind them. The skies above the city planet were filled with starships, both Jedi and Sith ready to defend their home. Ulktar and his forces launched a relentless attack, their weapons tearing through the defenders' ranks. The Decepticons fought with ruthless efficiency, driven by their leader's unyielding ambition. Unicron unleashed his destructive power, his beams of energy cutting through the Jedi and Sith ships. The planet trembled under his onslaught, the very ground cracking and splitting from the force of his attacks.
As the battle raged, Ulktar focused on finding the sources of the Sith's dark power. He scoured the ancient temple and archives, determined to unlock the secrets of the dark side. In the depths of the Sith temple, Ulktar discovered an ancient holocron, pulsing with dark energy. As he activated it, the voice of a long-dead Sith Lord echoed through the chamber. "Welcome, Seeker of Power. The knowledge of the dark side is yours if you are willing to embrace it." Ulktar, consumed by his desire for power, accepted without hesitation. The holocron's dark energy flowed into him, amplifying his abilities and filling him with a new, terrifying strength. With each passing moment, Ulktar felt the force fuse with his mechanical being, reshaping his form and mind. His thoughts grew sharper, more focused, but also more dangerous. The whisper of chaos in his mind grew louder. With Unicron's guidance and the Sith's dark knowledge, Ulktar began experiments to harness the Force and convert it into energon, the lifeblood of Transformers. Unicron provided the arcane technology needed to bridge the gap between the Force and energon, resulting in a new, potent energy source, Force Energon. "The Force is a current, a raw power," Unicron explained, his voice a rumble of destruction. "It flows through all things. Just as energon fuels your kind, the Force can be harnessed, shaped, and transformed. This technology will allow you to convert it, melding the power of the Force with your very spark." Empowered by the dark side, Ulktar returned to the battle, his presence now a more terrifying force. He cut through Jedi and Sith with ease, his newfound abilities making him nearly unstoppable. Realizing the threat Ulktar posed, the Jedi and Sith formed an uneasy alliance. Together, they launched a desperate counterattack, their combined might focused on stopping the Decepticon leader. Ulktar and his Decepticons, now infused with Force Energon, became nearly invincible. The energy of the dark side flowed through them, enhancing their speed, strength, and reflexes. Their weapons crackled with lightning, and their sensors were heightened beyond anything they had known. The Jedi and Sith, already weakened from their civil war, were no match for the Decepticons' newfound power. One by one, the Force wielders fell, their ancient order brought to the brink of extinction. But amidst the chaos, a final plan was brewing, a plan born of desperation and unity. Despite their best efforts, the Jedi and Sith could not withstand Ulktar's onslaught. Korriban lay in ruins, the once great city planet reduced to rubble, but the cost of victory was high. Many Decepticons were lost, and even Unicron had sustained significant damage. As Ulktar stood amidst the wreckage, he realized the true cost of his quest for power. He had won, But at what price? His empire, fueled by Force Energon, extended across countless star systems. Yet, in his quest for dominance, Ulktar had underestimated one force: the resilience of hope. With the Jedi and Sith defeated, Ulktar declared himself the supreme ruler of the galaxy. But even as he sat on his throne, the galaxy at his feet, Ulktar knew that his victory was hollow. The power he had sought so desperately had come at a great cost, and in the end, he was left with nothing but a shattered empire and the haunting knowledge that true power always comes with a price. Unicron's whispers still echoed in his mind, but now they were taunts, mocking his Pyrrhic triumph. Whispers of rebellion began to spread. Survivors of the Jedi and Sith, along with remnants of the Autobots and other oppressed beings, united under a common cause. Led by a new generation of heroes, they sought to overthrow Ulktar and free the galaxy from his tyrannical rule. The stage was set for a final, epic confrontation. In the shadow of Unicron, whose presence loomed ominously over the galaxy, the forces of rebellion clashed with Ulktar's Decepticons. In a battle that shook the very fabric of the universe, the rebels harnessed the last remnants of the Force, combining it with the indomitable spirit of the Autobots. As Ulktar waged his relentless war on Korriban, Unicron loomed in the skies, raining destruction from above. But the Chaosbringer's power was not without limits, and the continuous toll of the battle against the combined might of the Jedi and Sith began to wear him down. In a desperate move to save themselves, the Jedi and Sith, fighting side by side, devised a final plan. They channeled the full power of the Force, both light and dark, into a devastating strike aimed directly at Unicron. The combined energies of the Force ripped through space, striking Unicron at his core. The massive Titan let out a deafening roar as the Force seared through his metallic body, fracturing him piece by piece. Ulktar, sensing the impending disaster, attempted to sever his connection with Unicron to protect himself. But it was too late. As Unicron exploded in a brilliant blaze of light, the shockwave reverberated through the galaxy. Ulktar was thrown into a moment of chaos, his link to the Chaosbringer nearly broken. Weakened but defiant, Ulktar stood determined to seize victory, even in the face of his master's demise. However, in the end, it was his own hubris that led to his downfall. The rebels, finding the remnants of Unicron's core that maintained the connection to Ulktar, managed to sever it completely. Without the Chaosbringer's support, StarScream returned to his original form and was finally defeated. In the aftermath, the galaxy began to heal. The remnants of the Force wielders found a fragile peace, and the Autobots, guided by a new prime, worked to rebuild what had been lost. The legend of StarScream and his dark reign became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the enduring power of hope. And so, a new era dawned, one where the lessons of the past would guide the future. And the Force, in all its mystery, continued to bind the galaxy together forever. Whoa, that's a wrap on this ultimate nerdy what-if story. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe for more epic crossovers, and let me know your own what-if ideas in the comments. Until next time, stay nerdy.